This is a space update for March 26, 2008. In today's news, the Space Shuttle Endeavour returned home to Kennedy Space Center following a marathon 16-day mission to the International Space Station.
2 miles from the runway. Gear is down and locked. Main gear touchdown. And nose gear touchdown. Space Shuttle Endeavour is rolling out on runway 15 at the Kennedy Space Center, completing 250 orbits of the Earth while traveling 6,578,000 miles. This landing marks the 16th night landing at the Kennedy Space Center and 22nd in the history of the shuttle program. Tonight's landing is the 68th at KSC. Endeavour spent almost 12 docked days to the International Space Station, a record, leaving the station larger and more capable than it was before. European Space Agency astronaut Leopold Eharts returning home after 48 days in space, 44 of those aboard the International Space Station.
Endeavour, wheel stop.
Welcome home, Endeavour. Oka Rinasai Takao. Bienvenue, Leo. Congrats to the entire crew, to JAXA and to CSA on a very successful mission delivering the JLP and Dexter to their new home aboard ISS.
Thanks, Jim. It was a super rewarding mission, exciting from the start to the ending, and we just thank you for all your help. Looking forward to seeing you here soon.
Likewise, Dom. And we have no immediate post-landing deltas for you. We'll meet you on page 5-3 in the entry checklist.
Endeavour home after 16 days in space. The auxiliary power unit venting that you see on either side of the tail, that is normal. It is certainly more visible at nighttime.
About an hour after landing, the crew, having taken off their launch and entry pressure suits, left the orbiter Endeavour and did the traditional walk-around inspection of the ship as it sat on the runway prior to boarding the Astrovan and heading back to crew quarters in the operations and checkout building. Space Shuttle Endeavour and its crew landed at 8:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday at NASA's Kennedy Space Center after completing a 16-day journey of nearly 6.6 million miles in space. The first landing attempt at Kennedy was bypassed due to low clouds in the area. Endeavour's flight was the longest shuttle mission to the International Space Station and included a record 5 spacewalks. The shuttle's 7 astronauts worked with the 3-member station crew and ground teams around the world to install the first section of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency's Kibo laboratory and the Canadian Space Agency's 2-armed robotic system, known as Dexter. The success of this mission makes the International Space Station truly international, said NASA Associate Administrator for Space Operations Bill Gerstenmaier. Japan is now a full-time participant, controlling the Kibo module from its center near Tokyo. We have teams working around the clock in the United States, Russia, Germany, and Japan overseeing the crew's work and various elements of the station. With the ATV scheduled to dock next week, Dexter ready to go, our partners' modules operating, and the next Soyuz preparing to launch, it's an exciting time to be in the space business. Dominic Gorey commanded the STS-123 flight and was joined by pilot Gregory H. Johnson, mission specialist Robert L. Benkin, Mike Foreman, Rick Linehan, Garrett Reisman, and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Takao Doi. Reisman remained aboard the space station, replacing Expedition 16 flight engineer Leopold Eyarts, who returned to Earth on Endeavour after living on the outpost since early February. Reisman will return on Shuttle Discovery's STS-124 mission, currently targeted to launch May 25. With Endeavour and its crew safely home, the stage is set for the next phase of station assembly. The STS-124 mission is the second of 3 flights that will launch components to complete the Japanese Kibo laboratory. Shuttle Discovery will deliver Kibo's large pressurized module and robotics system to the station. The European Space Agency's Automated Transfer Vehicle, or ATV, is scheduled to dock with the space station on April 3rd. Russia's Soyuz TMA-12 will launch the Expedition 17 crew to the station on April 8th. STS-123 was the 122nd Space Shuttle flight, the 21st flight for Shuttle Endeavour, and the 25th flight to the station. And that is today's space update for March 26, 2008. For more space news, you can visit the Spacearium at www.spacearium.com or spaceflightnews.net, and check back soon for another space update. Thank you for listening.